Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Brianko Games here, giving this course out today. Basically we've just hit over 500 subscribers, which is the first milestone. Um, so I wanted to put together a course to make your very first game within Unreal Engine 5. This course is a beginner tutorial, and it's basically going to take you from zero, and by the end you'll have a full working prototype game in just a few hours. All right, so I'm going to get straight into it. I just want you to know as well, though, that everything for this course is free. So you don't have to spend any money. Just follow along with simple steps, and by the end of it, you'll have your own game. Okay? So what I've done is I've opened up my Unreal Engine 5.4 version, and to set up our project, we'll click on Games, and the game that we're going to create is actually third person. And there's a third person template here. And for the third person template, it explains everything that's in there. All right. Basically, you start with a third person controller, and that's what we want. Okay. We want it to be kept with blueprints. Target platform will be desktop. Quality preset, I'm using maximum. And the starter content's on. Don't have to have ray tracing if you don't want to. I'm going to leave mine off. Okay. And we'll call this first game course. All right. Let's create it. Okay, so this is our third person template within Unreal. Okay, so if I press play, you can see I already have what's called a UE mannequin. All right, and it has basically the directional inputs for the controller. So I can go left, right, forwards, and backwards using the W, ASD keys, or the directional keys, and I can jump using spacebar. All right, so that's already set up for us. All right, so in here is where we're going to build our game. Now, sorry, I should say actually a few things. If you've just first opened up Unreal 5, you'll have something more like this sort of user face, okay? You press Control Spacebar and it basically opens up the content browser. Now within our content browser, it basically has everything that's inside the project, and anything we want to add to the project, we add it into our content browser first. Now, the way I work is I will dock this in the layout, okay? And you'll probably get something along the lines like this. All right, probably be sitting like that. What you'll want to do is hold down the left mouse button on the content browser tab and just pull it down till it fits in the screen. And then it's always going to be there. Okay. Or you can press Control Spacebar every time you need it. I prefer it to work like this. Okay. So over here we have the outliner. All right. Now the outliner determines everything that's inside our scene. All right. So basically our scene, our world, um, etc. The all right. So if I was to click on this wall, you can see here that it highlights that object, that static mesh. The player start, it's basically what it means. It's where our player starts within the game, etc. That's the outliner, okay? Now, you can play around with certain details in the details section. You can play around with the location, the rotation. There's a lot in there, okay, for certain things. Have a little look into those. I'm not going to go deep into it because we're just more about making the game, first of all right? So, now that we've done that, what I want to first of all do is import our character, set up the character animations, the animation blend space, the blueprints, etc., just so we have our character within the game, okay? Now, what I've done is I've gone on to Sketchfab and I've found a character. I'm going to leave a link in the description for our character, okay? For those of you that don't know, Sketchfab has got an asset library and it's full of a lot of different assets for games. A lot of them are free. You could buy some as well. But as I said, we're going to have a a completely free course here. So if I click explore, make sure you make a free account, okay? So what I want is female character. Let's go into the history, and it'll be here somewhere. Just to save time. Wait. Yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Let's look for Sketchfab. Let's make some more. Should be maybe this one. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for this, okay? Kiara Design 01. Thank you to this creator. Triangles are 5.9 thousand, which is very little. So Shiro Kana, thank you very much. I'm giving you a little follow. I'm going to use this for this course. It is free, so I don't see any issues with it, all right? So there's a few things that we have to do, guys, all right? We need to rig this in Mixamo as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to download the 3D model. Make sure that when you're downloading models within Unreal Engine, that it only accepts FBX or OBJ files. In my experience, OBJ files usually break, or they're not great, or they're too small, or they're too big. I tend to not have much problems with FBX files. So I'll click download, and then I will go to the file. I'll right click, I'll extract it because it's zipped. Open up the source, and you have the FBX file in here, okay? Now what we want to do is rig this character. And what I mean by rig is give it a skeleton, because it's just a mesh at the moment. So we can do that in Mixamo for free. So I'll open up a new tab, I'll go to Mixamo, and I already have one in here because I was testing it out yesterday. However, I'm going to show you how to do it. So you go to, on the right hand side, you go to upload character, and you bring in the mesh that you want to do, all right? There we go. It's just processing so we can rig it. Now, Mixamo, for those of you who don't know, it's called Adobe Mixamo, and it's an asset library that has some characters and a lot of animations that can be used for games, all right? So here we have our character and the auto rigger. I'll click next. Now you gotta put the chin where the chin is pretty much. So this is just to put place markers here so the skeleton knows how to rig properly, all right? I'll put the wrists here. We'll put the elbows where the elbows should be and around here. Knees to the knees. And the groin till the groin should be in and around there, I'd imagine, okay? Now, you don't really want to be rigging a character with lots of like a dress or a coat. It won't rig properly. I might just get away with this because of the mesh. Should be fine. I'll click next. Now our character is being rigged with the skeleton. Shouldn't take too long. And there we go. You see it's rigged. And that looks fine for me. I'm happy enough with that. All right. So I'll click next. Next. The character will load up here in the preview screen, and it hasn't got any animations. So first of all, what I like to do is go to animations, click on T-pose, like so, press enter, and get the T-pose animation. All right, so there you go. Character's rigged with the T-pose. Now I'll download it. Now the thing is, it's set here with skin, and that's what we want. Basically, we're bringing in the mesh and the skeleton together. So click download. Perfect. Okay. Now what I'm also going to want here is a few other animations. So I want idle. And that idle's perfect for me. The hands aren't sticking into the mesh. That's good. So we're making a third person game, so the view's probably going to be like here. The camera looking at our player. So press download, but this time without skin. Every animation we want now is without skin. So download. And then what I want is a walk animation. Okay. Now you see that the character's walking off their spot. We don't want that. So we need to tick in place. And the hands are over like going through the mesh. It's colliding with itself. So character arm space, I'm going to, there you go. It's a little bit of a hard man strut though, isn't it? It's not good. Okay, that's fine. That'll do. So press download, download without skin. And then we're going to get a run. Fast run. I mean, this running does. Also, we need to tick in place. And the hands don't seem to be colliding. I'm happy with that. So I'll download it without skin. All right, so that's all we want for now. Okay, just for now. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll get these imported into our project. All right, so I'll just minimize this screen. Don't need that. All right. Now, my downloads are here. Yes. So the skeleton's called T-pose. So I'll click on that. I'm going to change the name before I bring it into Unreal. You can change it in Unreal, but I'm going to do it now. Press F2 for the shortcut to rename. And we're going to call this, I guess her name's Kara, so, or Char. I'm going to call her Kara. Why not? Kara FBX. All right. So we go to Unreal, go to our project. Now with content clicked, we're going to create a new folder and we're going to call it Kara. So everything related to Kara is in this file. Good housekeeping, okay? So double click and open up this folder. Go back into our file explorer. And I'm going to drop Kara just in here like so. And I'm going to get the FBX import options. And everything is fine, okay? Just make sure that the skeleton is set to none because we're bringing in our own skeleton. So press import all. And here we go. We have Kara, okay? And these are her materials, but they don't have any textures, all right? So we're going to right click. We're going to create a new, actually, no. We go back to our file explorer, all right? And we are going to, this one from earlier, sorry. Let's just close these down. Cool. Um, and then the folder that I extracted has a textures folder. Just bring the textures folder in. And there's all her textures. Okay? So, what we'll do is we'll go back into the car folder and we'll get these three and we'll put these in the textures as well because these are her materials. Because obviously she's just pale right now, isn't she? She's just all white. So what I'll do is I will bring in Kara just so we can see her here, okay? Like so. Oh, there's another material. We'll open up our textures, and now you can see that she has a body material. So where it says body diffuse, body emissive, body glossiness, and body normals and occlusion, we can add these to this material. So this is how you do it. Double click and open up the material. All right. Now I want this window to be over here so we can see her change in real time. All right. Now this we will delete. All right. So let's have a look actually first of all at what's in here. Okay. So in materials, you'll see there's a base color. So we get a base color texture, all right? And we join it up to this base color, all right? Just like this. This will make sense in a second. So this is the body, and the diffuse is her base color. I'd bring it in, I join it up, press apply, and see she now has her body textures. It's changing within real time, okay? So that's all good. What I want to then get is her emissive for her body. So this is her tattoos. And I'll join that up to the emissive as well. All right. We also have the normal. So I'll bring that in and I'll bring her occlusion in. And I'll make this big so you can see what I'm talking about. So you join the normal map up to the normal and you join the occlusion up to the ambient occlusion. Press apply. Press save as well. We'll close this one. We don't need it now. Okay, so that's that. The body's now been taken care of. Let's do her clothes. All right, so double click, open up clothes. We'll delete this one. We don't need it. Oh, like so. And let's bring in the clothes. So where are the clothes? There's clothes. There's the base color. And there is the normal. And there's the occlusion. And I press apply, and you can see her clothes have now changed. Okay? And then we just have to do her hair. All right? So there's two alphas, there's two sections to her hair. I think it's her fringe, etc. So let's get that fixed, okay? So we'll open up alpha 1, and this is the diffuse. So that's the base color. And let's make sure we can see it. I'll press apply. And there you go. There's some leaves in her hair. And then we'll do the alpha 2. And it's also the same diffuse. I'll press apply. And there is our character. Okay? She's all got her materials on her now. All good. All right. Um Now let's close that down and let's give her some animations now. All right. So we have our character in here. It's all good. Um let's get our animations in. All right. So we'll go back to the car folder and we'll create a new folder and we'll call this anims for animations and we'll double click and we'll open it up. And I'm just going to bring in our animations that we just downloaded. So we have walk, or idle, walk, and running. So shift click to select them all, bring them in, and now we get this menu. Only this time with the skeleton. We have our skeleton in, it's Kara. We will select Kara and we'll import all to bring them in like so. All right. Now what we're going to do is right click, go to animation and create a blend space, but a blend space 1D. It's in legacy. Blend space 1D, select the Kara skeleton because that's the animation blend space we want linked to that skeleton. So I'm going to call this Kara anim underscore BS for blend space. Now I'll double click and open this up and maximize the window. So basically, an animation blend space, it allows us to blend more than one animation together. So basically, if the character's standing there, they're in an idle um, state, and then they change from a little bit of walking into running, okay? Which will basically blend together, all right? Because obviously you gotta your speed would determine it. So you would sort of walk just before you start running. You can't just take off, you know? So what we'll do is here is the horizontal axis. First of all, where it says horizontal axis, click the little arrow, see where it says name, change it from none to speed. And then the maximum access value is 100. We're going to set it to 600 because it's already set to 600 in the third person character blueprint, which we will be taking a look at in a moment. So don't worry. So just do that. So the name to speed, maximum access value to 600. Now over here in the asset browser is all the animations linked to this skeleton. And we have idle. I'm going to drop it here where the green axis. And you can see in the preview, the car already goes to an idle anim. All right. And then I'll get walking and I'll drop it in around here. And I'll get running and I'll drop it at the end. Now, if you look, you can see where it says 0. So the character's idle. And then in and around here, so maybe it's around, I don't know, 150, etc. She'll start walking. So if you press Control over the X, you can see starting to walk. And then as the speed gets up to 600, Kara's taking off. She's going for a run. All right. That's all you have to do in this blend space. Press save in the top left. Close it. We shouldn't need it anymore. All right. Now we need to put the blend space into what's called an animation blueprint. All right. And that will allow us to link it to our character's controller. And we can move around in the scene with the animations playing and our character. So right click in the content browser, go back into animation, but this time you're creating an animation blueprint. Select the Kara skeleton, click create, and we'll call this Kara anim underscore BP for animation blueprint. And then we will double click and open it up. Right, so in here we have a few different things, okay? This is the output pose. Basically, this will allow us, we'll set up some some blueprints in here for our blueprint, for our animation blueprint. So then we'll go to the output pose and tell the engine that we can play these animations. This is what's called an event graph, okay? And in here is where you write blueprints. And blueprints are a visual form of scripting, okay? Basically what they do is they transform visual nodes into C++ because that's how Unreal Engine is programmed, okay? So you right click to get your first node and you'll call it add state machine. Sorry, just state machine. Okay? And we're going to call this yeah, we'll call it locomotion. All right? And you can join these up like so, and then double click on locomotion, and now you have an entry pin. So drag off it by holding down the left mouse button. You get three options. We want to add a state. We'll call this locomotion as well, and we'll double click and open it up. All right? Now over here on the right hand side, you have the asset browser, so all the animations and the blend space we just created. The blend space is actually in orange, so just grab it, drop it on top of the result, press compile. It's still not ready though, okay? We need to set up our speed variable. Remember our character, it can move up to 600, so we need to put that in there. And to do that, you go to the event graph, like so, all right? Now, just so you know, in third person in the content browser in the blueprints, this is our character blueprint, okay? Now in here, this is where you control everything for the player. It's called a blueprint parent class. And in here, as I said, is how we control our player. And in here is the viewport, and as you can see, it's set to the Unreal Engine mannequin, which we are going to change soon, all right? But if I click on the component section in the top left where it says character movement, over on the right-hand side, you'll see character movement walking, and the max speed is 500. Okay, so it's not 600, but that's fine. I'm going to change it to 600 here, okay? All right, we want to get the velocity from here into our animation blueprint. So what we do is we cast to our third person character, okay? Our third person character is this blueprint here. So everything that's inside here, I can now take it from this blue node, all right? Now what I'm going to do is create a variable, and a variable is how you store data within the engine. I want to store everything from here in a variable on this blueprint, on the animation blueprint. So I right click on this blue pin, I promote to a variable, and I'm just going to call it, I'm going to leave it as BP third person character, okay, to keep it simple. Press enter, that's that saved. Now what I want to do is come off here and type in is valid, and you want is valid with a question mark. It's at the bottom. I'm going to join the blue to the blue. All right. And then from here, I'm going to just get velocity. It's at the bottom. And then I want to get a vector length. And then I want to right click on the green pin and promote to a variable and call it speed. All right. So we now have the velocity of our third person character, and we've set it to speed. On the top left, we press compile so the engine knows to run it. Okay. And then I go back to this locomotion state, little tab up here. And now you can see under variables, our speed is saved. I drop it on top of the speed like so. I press compile. The animation blueprint is now done for our idle walk and run state. Now what I'll do is I'll go to our third person character blueprint. All right. Now I'll click on the mesh here. Okay. Now over on the right hand side, there's a few in the details panel. There's a lot here. But what we need to do is change the skeletal mesh to Kara. There's Kara there. But she's still like she's froze. We need to change her animation blueprint to the one we just created. This one is set up for the mannequin. So in the anim class, click on the drop down and we'll look for Kara anim underscore BP because we just created it. I click on it and now she's in her idle state. I'll press compile. I'll also delete this one and I'll press play. And now you can see we have Kara in the game. Okay? Just to run around and stay idle. So Kara is now in the game. That's easy. All right. Now, if I press the space bar, She still runs. She doesn't have a jump animation. Okay. So now we're going to give her a jump by going back into Mixamo, and we're going to get jump. Okay, there's a few different ones here. I think I'll go for this one, jumping. But I'm going to edit it a little bit because it's a little bit of a slow takeoff. So I'm going to just trim it. Yeah. And it's a bit of trial and error, but let's do that. So making our first game, we're not going to go too in depth on animations because it is its own avenue within the industry. But we'll click download, download without skin. I'll minimize that. We want to go back into Kara Anims, and we want to add it in here. Okay. So it should be downloaded by now. Anyway, let me just refresh. Jumping, there's jumping. Remember to select the correct skeleton, import all. Okay. Now we're going to create another variable in our animation blueprint in the event graph. So I'll show you why we did this bit. So why we turned it into a variable, all right? Because we don't want to cast all the time and keep coming out of this blue socket or blue pin, and it gets messy in here, all right? So now I can just grab this variable anytime I want, get it, and what I want to do is get is falling. So type in is falling, and you'll see character movement, okay? And now we have that. I want to right click on the return value, promote to a variable, and we'll call it can jump, question mark. And it's set to a Boolean, and a Boolean is a true or false value, okay? Basically, we're going to give some instruction here on our blueprint that if we are idle, if we're in our, so basically if we're in our blend space, all right? So if we're idle, walking or running, we can jump, all right? And we're going to do it by this way. So in the locomotion, sorry, in our anim graph, okay, I'm going to come off locomotion. I'm going to add a state. I'm going to call it jump. I'm double click and open it up. And you can see jumping's now here on the right hand side in the asset browser. I'm going to grab it, I'll drop it on top of the result. And when I press compile, we're going to get some errors. And it says here in the errors, locomotion to jump will never be taken. Please connect something to can enter transition. So let me explain what that is. See these little arrows here? This is a transition, and we need to set up our variable that we just created, can jump. We need to be able to tell it that it's true, okay? So we can jump. So you do that by double clicking on it, all right? And down here you have can jump, and you just get can jump. You can do it this way by equal, so equal, join it up. Now let's copy and paste this. So we'll just copy for now. Control C, tick this one because it's true, allowing us to jump. Okay, go back and bring an arrow like so. When you're bringing an arrow, you need to hover over the white outline and then hold down the left mouse button and grab your arrow and drop it. Okay, double click on the new transition, Control V to paste. Make sure this is unticked because it's false because we've jumped. So now we can go back. We press compile. Let's press play. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Little trick as well. These three little dots, click on them. And then if you click on new editor window, so if we're running an event graph, we can always open up our game from here. So press play, I press spacebar, and we can jump. Okay? I mean, I'm happy enough with that. That's fine. I can run, I can jump, etc. All right? Okay, so yeah, now that we have all our walk, idle, run, and our jump, I'm going to add in an attack animation, and then we'll equip a weapon, and then we'll set up the death function. Okay? And then after that, we'll build our enemy AI. So first things first, let's get the attack animation. So um, in the beginning of the video there, you could see me downloading animations from Mixamo. What I've done is I've put, you should know this anyway, but I'm just recording it just in case. because it's happened in real time. I've There's a link in the description. If you click on it, you can get all the assets downloaded from the cloud. All right, so you should have all the animations in the anim folder, and that's the way I'm going to be working from now on. I'm not going to be going into Mixamo anymore. Okay, right. So let's get into it. So when I go to the atoms folder for Kara, you'll see here that I have death, I have hit reaction, and I have standing melee attack. So I'm going to click on these, click, select this one by hitting control and control. I'm going to right click, I'm going to create atom montages for these ones, okay? Like so. Now the death one, we need to make a change to it. So it says enable auto blend out. This should be ticked or unticked. Okay, so when it dies, it only plays it once. Let's save that one and let's close it. Shouldn't need it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the third person character blueprint. I'm going to rename this one. All right. So F2. I'm just going to call it Kara underscore BT. Okay. So in here is everything related to our character as we know. So I'll double click, open it up. And basically we're going to set up a little input. This shouldn't be here because it's from testing. Anyway, so in the event graph, we're just going to put a little input for Kara. And we're going to right click. We'll use the left mouse button. Now there's other ways to do inputs. This is just for testing. Okay. We'll do a section on that later on in the course. So left mouse button, press play on a montage. And then we will select standing melee attack horizontal because that's the one we created. We'll press compile, press play to test it out. Boom. Okay, so there's the animation working. Now, what I want to do is equip a weapon for this animation. All right. So you'll have the axe in the folder drive. So we're going to bring that in as well. But before we bring it in, I need to create a new folder for it. Okay. So we'll go to content. We'll right click and new folder. And we'll call this weapons. And we'll double click and open that up. And then from the folder that you've downloaded, you'll get a stylized Viking axe. Just bring it in like so. You'll get this window. Go to where it says Mesh Advanced. Make sure you tick on Combine Meshes because sometimes as simple as a mesh is, it could be made up of 100 different parts. You don't want them all over and it gets a little bit, annoying. It's an eyesore. It's a bit jarring. So just import all. It keeps the mesh together like so. And here we have it. We'll minimize this. And we got to set up the material, okay? So we'll delete this one. I'll show you how to do another material. So I go into the textures folder. I'll right click. I'll go to material. I'll call it M for material, M underscore axe. And I'll double click and I'll open it up. I'll just minimize it or a little bit. And then you can bring in the base color. Join the base color up. Get the metallic. Join the metallic up. Get the normal. Join the normal up. And there's roughness as well. Oh, there's roughness. And I think this one is the emissive, right? Only one way to find out. Or the ambient occlusion, sorry. And if I press apply, press save, I'll close the material for now. If I go back into the static mesh, excuse me, into the source, into the static mesh, and I open the right hand side in the materials, I select the M underscore axe. That's really, really cool. So a guy called Adam Homiko, I think, or Homiki. Sorry if I butchered that. He made this axe in Sketchfab, and it does the trick for us. So good work, mate. I followed you anyway. All right, so we'll do a save, minimize the window, and yeah, let's attach it as a new socket for Kara. So basically, what we want to do is go into Kara folder, select the skeleton, so Kara underscore skeleton, and over on the left hand side, I want it to be in her right hand. So I'm looking for her right hand here. Right click, add a new socket, and it creates a right hand socket. Press F2 to rename. We'll call it weapon. So this is where if there's any other weapons in your game, etc. We're only going to be doing one weapon because we're just making our first game, you know. Um, so weapon socket. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, I already had one. My apologies. I'll delete that. So we'll F2 and we'll call it weapon. All right, now you can see the weapons here. It's a little bit up on the wrist. I don't like that. I'll press W and I'll move it down into her hand. And then I right click on the weapon socket and I can add a preview asset. I'll select the axe. Now the axe is huge, okay? So I'm going to turn snapping off these three icons in blue. Just uncheck them. Okay, so we can resize the model correctly. With the weapon socket selected, press R to rescale. And let me show you. If you hover over the white and you rescale that way, you rescale the same value in all vertices. Let's get a bit closer. I mean, that size looks good to me. I'll press E and I'll rotate it. And then I'll press W. Let's move it a bit like so. Bit of trial and error. Obviously, if you want to use a different model, you can. It would be different for you. I'm going to press E. Just get it like so. You know, I think it's a little bit too thin. I'm just going to, oh, maybe like there. W. Oh, sorry. Weapon socket W. I mean, that's looking much better. Just want to maybe around there. Okay, I'm good with that. Obviously, we can change this if needs be later. It doesn't have to be precise for now anyway. All right. Now press save. We'll close this down. And we go back into our Kara BP. Close this as well. We don't need it. Go to Kara BP. Go to the viewport. Okay. So one delete that. This don't need it. Just pay no attention to that. Right. What we'll do is I have one in here as well. Sorry guys, I was testing this out and forgot to delete something. So when you go into the Kara BP, it should look like this. Okay. So click on the mesh. All right. Just click on the mesh and then click the plus symbol in the components and type in static mesh. Okay. Oh, that's I don't know what happened there. So click on static mesh. So yeah, you want the static mesh like so. We'll call this axe. All right. Make sure it's a child of the mesh. If it's not, just make sure you drop it on top of the mesh and you'll get a green tick. That way we can go on the right hand side to the parent socket. Select the little magnifying glass and folder. You see it says weapon. Also need to create the static mesh. So select the static mesh. Look for our model. Okay, it should have snapped right into the hand. So I don't know what happened there. Um, so there's our mesh there. Okay, now I think you have to select the static mesh first. Okay, that's usually what I do. Um, and then click the magnifying glass. Click weapon. It's a little bit off. Okay, shouldn't be. It should snap first time. I mean, it did when I was testing it out. Anyway, we'll change it in here very quickly. So I'll just rotate it. I mean, it's pretty close. W. See where it went. Okay, so we go back into our Cara blueprint, and we're going to add the axe in here. Okay, so just click on the mesh, add a static mesh, and we'll call it axe. And then over the right hand side, we'll select the static mesh in the details section. And there it is, huge. Up above, you'll see parent socket. Click on the magnifying glass, select weapon. And look, you can see that it's snapped exactly to the character's hand. Now make sure that you do it in that order or it won't snap to the where we did it in the preview, okay? So make sure once you click on mesh, you click add, you add a static mesh, name it axe, and then you add the static mesh first. Then you go up to the socket and you add it to the weapon socket, and it should snap perfect like that. All right. So that's that part done. So let's press compile. Let's test it out. Wow. All right. Pretty fierce with that, isn't she? I don't know. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Good stuff. All right. So press escape. I want to just do her animation for death. So we're going to do the death function. And then, yeah, so we'll do the death function first, okay? It's another animation montage, and we're just clearing up the animations, all right? And then we'll start implementing the attack, damage, etc. Okay, it's like a combat system. We'll get to that in a sec. Well, a bit later, right? So go to the event graph, all right? Find some space. So we'll just call this. So if you highlight these, okay, select them both. Press C to leave a comment. We'll just call it axe attack. All right. And it's labeled. It's good to keep everything labeled to keep it all organized. All right. Now in here, we're going to create a custom event. So custom event, and we're going to call it Kara Death. Okay. So basically, we're going to set this up where it's a function that you can run it anywhere in the game. So you set the script up for it one time, and then you just call it by calling one node any other time you need to use it. Okay, so pretty much we need to create the character's health. Okay, so let me just delete that from testing so there's no confusions. I do apologize. I'm a busy guy. But anyway, right, so we need to create a variable. Okay, so we'll add the variable here and we'll call it health. Now it's set to a boolean. A boolean is a true or false value. And for those of you that don't know, a variable is how we store data within the engine, okay? So we don't want it to be a boolean. We want it to be a float. A float is a number with a decimal point. Press compile in the top left. Then go back to health. Yeah, set it to a value of 1. And then press compile again, okay? Now what we want to do is get our health. And we want to get an arithmetic operator. Or sorry, just we want to get an operator called less or equal to 0. And we want to get a branch, which is basically a condition. I'll explain in a minute. So basically, we're creating a condition, which is our health. If it's less than 0, and if that's true, okay, we want to play anim montage. Oh my God, 1 second. You'll notice that I'm very bad at typing. I have this keyboard either has small buttons or I have fat fingers. Probably the second one, to be honest. But yeah, play anim montage, and I want to select death. Okay. So I'll press compile and I'll just show you the death animation. All right. Now we will test this later on when the enemy the enemy attacks us to take away our health. Okay. But just to test it out for now, I'm just going to use an input. Okay. Like I'll use the 1 key. Yeah. Press and we want to call Clara death. See, now we can just call the function. So basically what we've done in here is all stored in here. But we're not finished with this one yet. I just want to show the animation, that's all. So we'll press play. What's wrong here? Getting an error. Oh, okay. I had this set up from before. Ignore this. This has nothing to do with this. So we will get to that bit later. This is all we want. That's fine. All right. Let's press play. I'll play an editor. I'll go check that out later. What happened? Sorry, guys. Sometimes with Unreal, you'll find that things happen. The target must have a connection. Ah, there we go. That's what's wrong. Where is it? Yeah, it seems to be. For now, I'll go back in there and fix it. Okay, so if I press 1, okay, I'm still not going to die because we need to add a default slots in there. What's going on? Power death. Okay, 1 second. Doing this all wrong. My apologies. Right, so this is all good. This is fine. Okay, because our health is in 0. That's why. 1 second. So I need to do. So instead of running Kara death from here, my apologies. So from the 1, if I get the health, and I just want to take it away, I want to subtract it. I want to subtract 1, and I want to set my new health to 0. And then if it's 0, I want to run the Kara death. Press compile, press play, press 1, and I've taken away the health. There's the death animation. That's what it looks like. Don't get too hung up on it just now. All right, it's all going to fall into place. But see, look, if I press space, I can still jump around. I can still move, etc. Okay, so that's why we still have to finish our death event. Okay, I just wanted to see the animation. I like the animation actually. It's pretty cool. If I press 1, straight away dead. Anyway, right. Okay, so let's fix it up. Okay, let's finish this off, this part anyway. Right. So in the death event that we're creating, all right, what we also want to do is we want to disable our input. Okay, so disable input. Basically now, if I die, I can't press any buttons. So press 1, I'm dead, I'm clicking, space, no buttons work. The input's disabled. Okay. Now there is another thing we need to do. See this in the viewport? This is a capsule component, this wireframe, this capsule. When we die, that's still there. And if our enemy has killed us, our enemy is still overlapping with the capsule. And that means it will spam and it will still keep attacking us even though we're dead. And it just doesn't look good. It's a really quick fix, okay? We just go back into the event graph. And in here, over in the left, you get the capsule component. And you destroy component. Okay? Press compile. Now what I'm going to do is show this in the game. So click on the capsule component and hit it in game in the search bar in the details and just untick it so we can see it in our game. So when I press play, you can see it, and then when we die, it disappears completely. Can't press any buttons. And that, ladies and gents, is our um that's our death function. Okay, now I'm going to just take hidden in game again so we have that because we don't want to see it in the game, all right? And then we're going to comment this up. All right, so this down here, don't worry about it. It's just for testing the death animation out for now, all right? What I want to do is I want to get, oh, my battle, that was pretty quick, right? I want to grab these, bring them down, press C, and you got to call this death function in brackets car. I mean, it's in the car blueprint anyway, but just for learning, okay? So there's our death function set up as well. So we've done that, all right? Now what I want to do is we should maybe do the attack now, or do we go to enemy AI? I want to put our enemy in the game, I think. We'll do our enemy, and then we'll do a combat system for the player and the enemy, and that will get us a good bit into the game. All right, cool. So I'll press compile. I'll minimize this window. Now, what I want to do is I want to right click and click on content. We'll do a right click, create a new folder. We'll call it enemy folder. Yeah, so enemy, open it up, right click, get a blueprint class, select character, and call it enemy AI underscore BP for blueprint. And we'll double click and open this up. Now, just for the moment, for a placeholder, we'll use this skeletal mesh. Or the skeletal mesh asset will be the Unreal Mani. So just click on none over here on the right side, SKM Mani. We're going to create our own animation blueprint for it now anyway. So I'll press E, I'll rotate it, it's around 90. Doesn't have to be perfect anyway. Just bring it down in around minus 90, okay? You can do it over here perfect, so there you go, minus 90, minus 90. So let's do it that way just to show you minus 90, minus 90. And there's it in place, okay? Now, in here, we are going to create our enemy AI animations. And then we'll get the attacks done. And then we'll set up a health bar. And then I'm thinking we'll build our environment. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Making it up as I go along a little bit. All right. So bear with me on that one. Right. Okay. So there's our enemy. Now we want to create our animation. We want our animations for our enemy. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to retarget animations in Unreal Engine 5.4. It's a new feature for this version, and it's fantastic because you can basically retarget animations to different skeletons with the click of a few buttons. Okay. Before you used to have to edit in the skeleton and type in different bones, etc., and it was just a bloody nightmare, and it was a nuisance. Okay. Right. What we'll do is we will go to Kara, go to her animations. And I want some of the same here, okay? So I'm thinking I might just do all of them, except the axe. I don't want the axe for our enemy. But maybe, you know? What I'll do is I'll right-click on the animation blueprint. It says retarget animations at the top. And this window opens, okay? So on the right-hand side, we want our source skeleton to be car because that's where the animations are coming from. And we want to retarget them to our Mani, okay? Now, make sure auto generate retargeter is ticked. I'm going to select everything here, okay? And I'm going to export animations, and I'm going to go to the enemy. I'm going to right click and create a new folder and call them anims. All right, so animations. And I want everything that we've retargeted to save in there. So I click on export. We don't have to override existing files because there's no files in there. I'll export it. And then it takes us straight to the folder. And all these animations I've taken from Mixamo now work on the Unreal Engine skeleton. Like, for example, if I click on... Well, let's click on the Axe one as an example. There, it's all working. Perfect. Very happy with that, okay? Good stuff. Right. We will go back into our enemy AI. And we'll select in here... BP. So there's two of them. We want to rename this one actually. So let's go into our anims folder. Character anim. Yeah, we're gonna rename this one to enemy. Enemy anim BP. And do the same for the blend space. F2. Like so. All right. Now we're going to open up the enemy animation blueprint. And you can see in here that it's cast to Kara. Okay, so we need to make some changes. So basically, this animation blueprint is cast to our player, but now we're using a different blueprint for our enemy up here, okay? So we're going to go into the enemy anim BP, and we're going to click on this one. We're going to delete it. And we're going to cast to our enemy blueprint. All right. And we're going to delete these variables in here. Well, let's keep this one. Might work that way, but delete the third person. I want to right click. I want to promote this to a variable. I want to join this up to is valid. I want to join this up to the input. I want to join this up to get velocity. And with a bit of luck, oh, we also want to join it up to character movement. My apologies. Press compile. Now you can see that the Mani has gone into its idle state, so it should work. And that's all we have to do, as opposed to writing out the whole code again that we did before. Why would we? You know, this is just much faster. I hope everyone was able to follow that. Um, that's done. We go back into our enemy AI BP. Over here in the anim class, we'll select enemy anim blueprint. It's gone into idle. Let's press compile. Um, and we'll want to get the enemy to chase us. Okay. So the enemy will need what's called pawn sensing. And that's basically like how the enemy can see us or hear us, etc. All right. So what we'll do is before we actually do that, we'll set up what's called a random roam. Okay. So we'll be able to see our player walking around pretty much. Okay. So in order to do that, we're going to create a custom event. And yeah, in the event graph. So let's just get into that, okay? Right. So we'll go to the event graph. Just make a bit of space up in here. Cool. We'll create a custom event. So we'll add a custom event. We'll call it random roam. Because in this game, I want the enemies to be walking around, minding their own business. And then when they see us, they'll start running towards us to attack us. All right. Um, so random roam is basically what I want you to do is get our actor location. So get the location of our enemy. Oh, get actor location. And then you'll come off here and you'll get random reachable points in radius, and we'll allow it to roam around the value of 1500. We can change this. You can change it, whatever. But follow me for now. All right. And then we'll come off here and we'll get AI move to. Oh, no, it's the wrong one. AI move to. And then join the random location up to destination. And the pawn is our self. So get reference to self. Just type in self, you'll get it. Okay. And then pretty much on success, we're just calling our function. Okay. So random roam. Now for this to work, we want it to be roaming from when the game starts. All right. So what I suggest you do is we'll comment this as random roam. And I'll just pull this down. I think there's an event begin play up here. So you get the event begin play. So basically when the game starts, in this case, the level, not the game. Yeah, 'cause it's attached to the enemy. So it's not the level, it's the game. The game. Sorry for that. So we just want to call random roam pretty much. And then you press compile. Okay. Now, one other thing we need to do. All right. Well, two, we need to place our enemy into the actual scene. Okay. So I'll put him over here. All right. Now, if I press play, he's not going to be moving. Oh, he is. Right. Because I was testing it out. Oh my God. Sorry guys. Uh, just give me a second, please. There. Yes, because I have what's called nav mesh already in here. Okay. You haven't. So the way it was supposed to go is if I press play, he's not moving because what you need to add in, so for enemy AI, what you need to do is you need to click on the plus symbol Go to volumes, and the top one is nav mesh bounds volume. Just drag it into the scene. Now, basically, what this is, the nav mesh bounds dictates where the enemy can move around in the level. If you press P, you can toggle it on and off to see. So wherever it's green, the enemy can roam. Okay, so I'll press R to rescale it this way and this way. All right. Now, if I wanted the enemy to be able to get up on top of here, I would just bring the volume up like so. Okay, so let's do the whole thing. Now let's press play, and our enemy is just roaming around from place to place. Now he's running around, so we don't want that. Now isn't that cool? Just running up and down, not running over the mesh, etc. It's doing it correctly, right? I want him to be walking. So all I got to do is change the max walk speed. Double click and open the blueprint. Okay. So random roam. And all I want to do is get our character movement. And I want to set max walk speed. And I want to join this up like so. And I want to get the max walk speed and I want it to be, I don't know, 150 maybe. Let's try it out. Press compile. Press play. And there he is. He's just going for a nice little jaunt. Little walk. Cool. All right. Now what we want him to do is when he sees the player, we want him to chase us. Okay? Because right now, he's got no idea what's going on. All right? Just casually going for a stroll, which is pretty cool. All right? I really like that. Don't forget, guys, Control Shift S, save the whole project because Unreal likes to crash. Should be trying to do it every 5 minutes. Sometimes I forget as well, and it's let me down in the past. Okay? So it's not good. All right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to chase the player, okay? So to chase the player, what we need to do is go into our viewport. Let's have a little look to explain this component. You go to the top left, components, and we type in pawn sensing. Keep it the same name, doesn't matter. Now, pawn sensing, basically, there's different colors here for hearing and sight. So if you look over here on the right-hand side, in the details panel, under AI, peripheral vision angles 90. If I change the value, like so, there's the enemy has some sight. Maybe I'll take the sight radius down just for testing a little bit, maybe something like that. Okay. Now with the pawn sensing, we need to run an event. So scroll down the event section, click on see pawn, and here we're going to give it some script. Okay, so let's move this down a little bit like so. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to come off here and we're going to get a sequence. Okay, so we're going to run 2 lines of code. All right. So for the first sequence, we want AI to move to. AI to move to. Obviously, the pawn is self. And the target actor. Okay, like so. And then for the then one, we want a retriggerable delay. Change it to about a second, okay? And then we want to call random roam. So basically, if we can get out of the way of the character, we can then he will go back to roaming again because he can't see us. He goes back to minding his own business, basically, okay? So random roam. Now there is one thing we need to do here, right? If he sees us, so maybe I'll put it in here. If he sees us, we want him to run, not to walk towards us. So we have to speed up the max speed again. So get character movement, set max walk speed. Um, and let's give him like 450. We don't want it to be the same as our character because then we'll never be able to escape. 450. Press compile. Let's press play. So he's not looking at us. Let's go get his attention. There he's running towards us. If he sees us, where'd he go? He's way back for a walk, is he? Where'd he go? Yeah, he's having a little stroll. Okay. There he sees us. He's running after us. He give up a pretty easy there. That's because we were out of his sight. Okay. So remember I shortened the sight. Let's see if we can show this in the game. So pawn sensing, let's type in hidden in the details panel. No, you can't see it in the game, can you? Oh, that sucks. Maybe visible. No. Oh well, it's fine. Um, but anyway, he's got it there. Okay, so because I was running around here out of his sight, he went back to mind his own business. All right. So that's cool. We've got that bit set up for enemy AI. All right. Now what I want him to do is I want him to attack us. All right, when he sees us. Okay. So to do that, you'll see in the folder there's a cross punch animation. I'm just going to grab mine from my folder. Cross punch, cross punch, if I can talk properly. Now it's rigged to the Kara character. So I'll just import it here because I'm going to retarget it, okay? Right click, retarget animations, source Kara, to the SKM Mani, and I just want the cross punch. And then I'll export the animation. I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to export it. Export, and there it is. Okay, it's in there for me. All right. So, excuse me, it's actually done all of them. We did all of them anyway. What am I talking about? Right, cool. So we got the cross punch. I want to right click, and I'm going to create an anim montage. It's our cross punch. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up the attack. Okay. Now, got a few things to do in here. All right. But we'll break it down as much as possible. All right. So we go to enemy. We will. Oh, there's the cross punch. I don't want that now. I'm going to delete that one so things don't get so messy because I've retargeted. I don't need it. I'm not going to use the punch for Kara, so it doesn't matter. All right. So I'll force delete that. I'll open up my enemy AI blueprint. All right. Oh. All right. So we have this in here. Now we got to complete some other stuff. All right. Now, from in here, we are going to, if it's successful, we want to play the anim montage. Play anim montage, pretty much. Okay. And this is our anim montage. It's going to be the cross punch. Now, if I test this out, it's going to be very buggy. We've still got more to do, but I just want to show you step by step. See the way it's spamming. Okay. We don't want that. Oh, he gives up easy. Because it re-triggered. That's why. Right. What we also want to do is add a delay. So come off the return value, put a delay. Basically that the attack will play the full length of our animation because this is the return value. So this is our animation. We join it up to the duration. It plays for the duration of our attack. Okay. And then we've got still some more stuff to do in here. Okay. Um, what we'll have to create a variable called can attack, and let's get into it. So over on the left hand side where it says variables, we'll create one that says can attack question mark. Keep it as a boolean because it is a true or false value. All right. Now we're gonna make some stuff, make some space in here. All right. So we're gonna come off success with the branch. So we're gonna set up a condition. The condition is can attack. All right. So you have can attack. Basically, we need to set can attack to false. So basically, if it's false, it allows us to play our animation, and then it will go back with what's called a do once node. All right. So let's just see the difference. Okay. So I'll press play. Let's slide, and we're going to blend those together later. Right. He's still spamming. Right. What we need to do, copy this, go all the way to the start, and we want to paste it, and we need to set it to be true. Let's press compile. Let's press play. Oh, and it's still spamming because we need it only to do once and reset. All right, let me explain. In here, we'll want it in here actually. So come off here, do once. All right, let's press compile. Let's press play to see the difference. Come on, see me, pinhead. Boom. He's doing once, then it re-triggers and he walks away. We don't want that. But see the way it's playing once? It's only do once, it'll only do it one time. So we need to reset. So after we run everything here, once it's completed, we want to go all the way back to reset. All right. Now, there's a lot of it's hard to see what's going on here. So double click on the oh to close a reroute node. There you go. And we can sort of tidy up our blueprints. It's like spaghetti in here, right? Cool. Let me just make these more understandable. And then I will. There you go. All right. Let's test it out. Press play. Oh, we'll need to fix that. Why is it not working? Okay. Always some issue. But that's fine. Press escape. I'm doing something silly. Don't worry. Yes. Right. Okay. Get rid of the sequence. Okay. Join this up here. Grab these two. Bring them over here. And join this up like so. So put these in here. Yeah. Press compile. Let's press play. Come on, bud. See me? Oh, how'd he miss me? There's the punch. Punch. Now see as I run away from him, he's not sliding towards me, okay? So this is pitch perfect actually. I mean, well, come on. What's going on here? All right, must be just a little glitch. Let's re-trigger this for him to go on a random roam in 5 seconds. So let's have a look at what we've done. Right. Do I need to set maybe I do, maybe I do, maybe I do. Right. Oh, let's bring this in here. And then let's join this up. I'm just testing this out. The only way to learn in Unreal is to try trial and error. It's constant trial and error. Okay. Press play. There's the punch. 5 seconds. There's another trigger. Cool. 5 seconds. See if he goes back to roaming. Oh, why is he not going back to roaming? All right. Let's change that. Triggerable delay. Where's my random roam here? Yeah, that's fine. Press play. Boom. Boom. I can hit him. So the peripheral vision's pretty shitty. But he's not chasing me all the time. He should be going back to the random roam. Hmm. Maybe I should run the sequence from here, actually. Oh. And I'm not going to like chop and edit all this stuff out. I want you guys to see that, maybe 9 times out of 10 you'll do something. And then that 1 time out of 10 you go to do it and it doesn't work, okay? So this is a part of the process, all right? Just press compile, press play. There you go. He's coming straight for me. He's back on his random roam. Boom. Back on his random roam. He sees me. He attacks me. Okay, there you go. It's just a sequence in the wrong place. See, now I'm out of his sight. back to the random, in his sight, out of his sight. If I can get further away, he'll stop. See? Because I'm out of his sight radius. All right, that's perfect. Okay, so let's just double check this. All right. So on see pawn sensing, we want to run a sequence. Our first sequence, basically, we want all this to do once. All right. So we want to set attack to be true. So if the player can see us, we're setting attack to be true. He's going to come. The max walk speed is going to speed up to 450 because he's already walking in the random roam. He wants us to move to ourselves. And if can attack is true, we want to stop the can attack event or the variable so we can play the animation montage for the duration. And then we want to set attack to be true again. And we want that to repeat on a cycle so it resets. And then also when this is false, pretty much we want the random roam to take place. All right. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to comment that and I'm going to call it chase player chase player and attack. Okay, because there is two things in there. All right, so chase player and attack is good for us. We'll press compile. That's all good. I think it's best that we also set up a death animation for this character as well. Okay, so let's make sure. Yeah, we do. So back into the enemy AI BP. Sorry. We'll create another custom event. Um, Custom event. And we'll call it death. You know what? We'll call it enemy death. All right. We need to also create a variable, give it health, change it to a float, press compile, give it a value of 1. All right. Press compile so the engine knows it's set up. Grab the health. It's the same thing that we did for Kara. Okay. Yeah, in here, sorry. The death function. It's exactly the same, apart from the input. Okay, the input's not needed because we don't have control of that character anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it again. So basically, we want to get less or equal. Create a branch. If that's true, we want to play montage. So play anim montage. Oop. And we want to call in our death. We've already set this up. And I think we'll also destroy the component, okay? Because we don't want our character to collide with the capsule. So get the capsule component, destroy component, and we'll also we'll want to set like a delay. Let's do 5 seconds because we want, once the character's dead, we don't want him to be lying on the floor the whole time. It's a bit taxing on the engine. We want it to disappear, right? Better for performance. So we will destroy actor. All right. So let's look at what we've done here. So create a custom event. Basically, the event starts with our health. If the health is less or equal to 0, we'll play the death animation and we'll destroy our capsule component so we cannot collide with it anymore. And then 5 seconds after our characters, it's already dead on the floor, but it disappears and it's deleted from our world or scene or whatever. Okay. So I'm going to comment that as well and call it enemy death function. All right. Cool. Now what we need to do is we need to set up our attack, etc. All right. And then that will be our combat system finished, pretty much. And then we'll move on to some other things. Right. So, will I do the player first? I'll do the player first. Okay. So we'll go to the car BP. And let's see, enemy AI, just compile that. Yes, remember, Control Shift save the whole project so we don't lose our work. And then we will go and back into car BP. All right, go to the viewport. All right. So I want to make some damage now every time that the axe hits the player when we're attacking, okay? So there's a few things we have to do here. We are gonna let's click on the axe, okay? Add a sphere. Ooh, see, you'll see me throughout the whole course. Good job I'm not teaching English anymore. Sphere collision, we'll call it attack. All right. And where is it? Is it just really tiny? Oh, it's so small. Okay, that's fine. I'll press R to resize it. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. And I'll press W. I'm going to just put it around where my axe is. Okay, like so. All right, that'll do. Now I want to run an event to damage our player or our enemy. So scroll down with the sphere collision selected. What you want to do is click on component begin overlap. And what we're going to do is we're going to cast this to our we're going to cast it to our enemy AI. Okay, so enemy AI underscore BP. All right. Now that we've done that, we want to set up a few other things here. Okay. You want to apply damage pretty much. All right. So apply damage. Ooh. Now, just for testing this out, I want to do 0.5. So two attacks with the axe will kill our whole player because our whole enemy. So I keep mixing those up. Because our enemy's health, if you remember in the enemy blueprint, our enemy health is a value of 1. Okay. So if we hit him twice, it's going to take away the health twice. All right. Now, in here, I'm going to do a few other things as well. All right. We're going to create another variable called attack ready. Basically, because if you see, it also needs to be a Boolean. It's true or false. Press compile. So basically, the reason we're creating a variable attack ready. So if you see this sphere, okay, even that our player has it by its side and it's not attacking us, if it hits our enemy, it will still take away its health. All right. We don't want that. We only want it to be taken away when at the correct timing of the animation. All right. So we'll set this up, attack ready. This will make more sense when we finished it, okay? But just letting you guys know the method to the madness. All right. So we're going to get a branch. Hold down the B key, left click. It's a shortcut. Join up like so. We're going to get our attack ready. Drop it on the condition. Okay. And then we also want this to just happen once. All right. So if it's true, we want to do once node so it doesn't spam. Okay. And we also want to get a delay. So we want the damage, we want it to apply the damage and then a little bit of a delay so we can reset and do it again. All right. So just keep it 0.2. That's fine. All right. So bring the completed into reset. Double click to reroute so we can keep everything tidy. Oh, there you go. Right. Also, as enemy BP, it is our damaged actor. Okay. Let's just so everyone can see where everything's going. All right. Now this is just for now. It's still not functional. All right. So I just want to show you when we overlap. So whoever overlaps with this the attack sphere, in this case it's our enemy. Okay. We want the enemy to get a damage of 0.5. All right. But we only want it to be this to happen when we set up the attack ready anim state in the animation, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Okay. We're going to set that up now. And we want it just to delay, so enough time where when the damage is applied, 0.2 seconds, it goes all the way back and applies damage again and again for each time the sphere collides with the enemy. Okay, now we need to set up attack ready. What we'll do is let's press compile here, so the engine runs this bit of code anyway. We are going to find our animation montage in Kara, animations, standing melee axe attack like so. I'm going to press pause just for the second, and we're going to grab the slider. Now look, we don't want it to be damaging us from here or here, but maybe from about here. Yeah? So in the notify track, right click, add notify, new notify, attack ready, and then when it finishes, which is about here actually, it's pretty quick, I want to add a new notify. So I'll just right click, I'll add a notify, attack not ready. And the attack not ready, I'm going to pull over to where the slider is. All right. Press save. Shouldn't need this anymore. Okay, so just close that. We need to set it up in our animation blueprint now. Okay, so we've set up what's called a notify. We go to the Kara animation blueprint. Okay. And this we'll need to rename because it's now the Kara BP. So Kara, just Kara underscore BP. So it's no longer the third person BP. It is still the third person BP, but we renamed it, remember? So bring Kara in like so. Get Kara. All right. And I want you to right click up here and type in attack ready. And you'll see you get an anim or event anim notify attack ready. And below it, I want you to get the attack not ready. Now watch, there's two here. We don't want the function. We want the event anim notify. Okay. And then from the Kara, we want to set attack ready. Like so. Join this one up and tick it to be true. And then get another one. Set attack ready. We want this one to be false. All right. So now we press compile. It's still not functional. Okay. Look, if I press play and I go here and I attack, it's still not doing any damage to our character. All right. Let me show you. We have to set up event any damage now within our enemy. So if you look in our Kara BP, we've done the apply damage. All right. Now we're applying the damage to our enemy AI. All right. So we go to our enemy AI and we need to get what's called event any damage. All right. Now see this value from apply damage. It's a float value of 0.5. This value is now stored in here where it says damage. Okay. So what we want to do is every time that we attack our enemy, we want to get our enemy's health and we want it to be subtracted. Oh, wrong button. We want it to be subtracted. Oh my god. We want it to be subtracted from our health. And then we want, once that's taken away the health, we want it to set it to the new value. And what we also want to do is we want to play an anim montage. In this case, we have a hit reaction. We'll do the hit reaction. Let's press compile. Let's press play. Now we might need an event tick here. I believe we do for it to work. Oh, it was working. All right. Need to fix the camera, I think. See the way you hit him there? Or she hit him? There you go. It's working. Okay. Now the death isn't set up yet fully. And it's not fully working. Okay. It's only doing sometimes. So press escape. All right. Now what we want to do here is we want to run our death. Okay. So enemy death. Compile. And then let's press play. There you go. See me? You don't see me. There we go. Why is he not seeing me now? What happened here? Something break? For God's sake. Why can't he see me? Okay, well there's the death anyway. The death's worked. A few seconds, he's deleted. Okay, couldn't see me there all the time, all right? So what happened there? Maybe it was getting, few things we can check. Right, first of all, with Kara, all right, I need to run an event tick, all right? So right click, event tick, put that in here. Okay, so it's going to check every second if it's casted too. But I also want to click on the axe. The collision could be an issue, I'm not sure. It says block all dynamic. I think it's overlap all. I'll press compile. Camera boom. Do collision test should be unticked, yeah. Untick that, yeah. That's fine. Let's go test it out. I didn't see me. There's he punching. All right, hit him. Hit him again. Oh, all right. I mean, that's cool. But shouldn't it have only been twice? Okay, let's just check. Enemy AI. Health is 1. Prevent any damage. It's all good. It's all good. That's right. Fire BP. The damage is 0.5, right? Yeah, that's correct. That's all good. Okay, let's see. Or is it coming straight for me? Oh, because of the sight. Okay. 1, 2. He should be dead now. Why 3? Have I done the wrong? Where's his death function? Oh, because I've done less than 0. Okay, so if it's less than, I want it to be less or equal. That's why, guys. So the two swipes I was hitting him with was taking it to 0, but it has to be less than 0 by this one. This is wrong. So I'll delete that. And I want less or equal, okay, to 0. And you'll see now it's going to work. So press compile, press play. 1, 2. Goodbye. I mean, 3 is much more better, actually. But anyway, press escape, control shift S, and that's our combat system almost finished. All right. What we're going to do is do a shortcut. All right. First of all, if I want to just tidy this up because it doesn't look good. If you press Alt to break this one, and I press Control left click to move this one up and join up, it just looks much tidier, right? Still the same logic, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm OCD and blueprints, maybe. All right. So there is event any damage from the enemy. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to comment this damage taken. All right. I'm also going to copy and paste it. Okay. Because it's the same logic for our when our enemy attacks our player. It's the same. All right. But I'm thinking maybe I'll do the damage first. All right. So we'll go into Kara. Yeah, we'll do it that way. All right. We no longer need this. Okay. Because we're going to set this up. All right. So I'll delete that. And we're going to call this damage. So C, damage dealt. Oh, let me zoom in there. Oh, I did it right. Damage dealt. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these nodes. I'm going to Control C to copy. I'm going to bring them into my enemy AI. I'm going to paste them. Right. A few things need to change. So we can't cast to ourselves. All right. For press compile, you got errors here as well anyway. All right. So it's a different for this one. I need to make that a variable and I can't cast to myself. Like, why would I do that? Right. So you have the same logic in here, but some changes. So this one we're going to delete. All right. And we need to set one up in the viewport. So our enemy punches with the right hand. Same thing we did with the axe for our player. Click on the mesh. Click add. Type in sphere. Collision. We'll call it attack damage. And then we'll socket it to our right hand. So hand right, and we'll resize it by pressing R. Oh shit. I mean, that does. I'm happy enough with that. Okay. We'll want to, just come off here, down here on component begin overlap, brings us straight to the event graph where we were, and we'll join this up. Okay. So we want this, we also want to delete this one as well. Other actor, and we want to cast to Kara. So we want it to affect Kara, right? Put the event tick in here as well. Join this one up to the branch, like so. Join this one up here. And then right click on the tech ready and promote to a variable. Keep it a tech ready. And press compile. Delete this set a tech ready. We don't need that. Keep the damage at 0.5 as well. We can play around with these values later. Remember, bring the completed up into here. Oh, I'll just reroute that. All right, let's have a little look. So we've pretty much done the same. All we've done is we've replaced this with the attack damage sphere that we've created in the viewport for our enemy AI. And then we just want to cast it to Kara instead, and then right click and promote this to a variable. All right, so there's the first bit done for the combat. All right, so I'm going to comment this. I'm going to call it damage dealt, and I'll press compile. And cool for now. All right, still not finished, but we're on the way. Now what I want to do is I'm going to copy this one, because every time you apply damage, every time you add this node, you need this node in where you're placing the damage. Okay, so this one is dealing damage, this one is taking damage, but this one is linked from our player. But this one, I want it to go to attack our player. So you're just doing it in reverse pretty much, all right? So I'll Control C, go to Clara BP, and I'll paste these ones. Oh, and what? Oh, there is one thing. I can't run the enemy death from here. All right, so we're going to put Kara death in there anyway. All right, so Control Z, go to Kara, paste this one. All right, I'll change the get hit to the Kara skeleton. And then from here, I want to run Kara death. All right. With a bit of luck, it all works first time, but I still have to do the event notify for the punch. So we'll see that, and we'll call it damage taken. All right. So if you followed all these steps, obviously if I talk too fast, just slow it down on the mic on YouTube. You can pause, go back over it, etc. It's all there. Okay, so now what I want to do is get the cross punch montage. And that will be an enemy anims cross punch. There it is. All right. So from, let's say, here. Yeah. Well, maybe from here. Let's right click, add a notify, new notify, attack ready. And then when it pulls it back from, we'll say here, we'll add a notify, new notify, attack not ready. And just put it up to where the slider is. Okay? Press save, close that down. Go into our enemy animation blueprint, do the same thing that we did. Okay, enemy BP, same thing that we did for the player. All right, get this, right click, attack ready, right click, attack not ready. Oh, I always do that. Even though I said be sure to get the right one in the last time. Attack not ready. And then we want to set attack to be true. Set attack ready. Join it up, make sure it's true. And then get set attack ready. Make sure it's false, so it's unticked. All right. Now let's press compile. Still not, you got the death in there. Yeah. Okay, I think, I'm hoping I haven't missed anything, and we'll press play. And we'll go see if the enemy can kill us. One. Oh, wow. Is that right? Should have only been doing it once. Oh, no. Hmm. Health. Our health is one. Should have only done it once. Something's not right. It's always something, guys. Always something. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I have the wrong on a montage in. We weren't actually dead. I need a hit reaction. That's what I needed, right? Yeah. So press compile, press play. Come on, punch me, punchy. What the hell? I'm gonna have to fix that pawn sensing angle. Something's not right there. One. Huh? What the hell? The damage is taken, it should be doing a hit reaction montage. It's a hit reaction. That's hit reaction in there. That's right. Let me take this off for a second. I'll press compile. I'll press play. There you go. Hit me again. Okay, so the death function is not being called. But this is working. All right. So that tells me something's wrong, maybe in our death function, which is fine. Ah, yes, guys. Okay, yeah, my bad, my bad. But these things happen, you know. Uh, I know exactly what it is. So yeah, we still want to run the car of death. But remember, for testing purposes, I wanted if I press 1, it would happen right away, take away the full health. So I need to go back to our death function. Death function. Oh no, where is it? If our health is less than here. No. Oh, I stand corrected. Axe attack. Yeah, that's fine. Car of death. That's right. That's fine. If the health is less than 0. Something silly it's gonna be like always. Health. Health is 1. The damage. The damage dealt is 0.5. That's right. It's gonna be something dopey. Oh, I also need to run the enemy death from here. I don't know why it's happening once. I'm gonna find out, but let's see if I can kill. I've already killed the player, right? Or killed the enemy. Jeez, I can't talk today. Right, he's dead. Now come and get me. I shouldn't be dying. What am I not seeing here? Might have to take a break. Hmm. If it's less than 0. But my health is 1. Okay. Alright, so we have our random roam. That's got nothing to do with it. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry. Face player and attack. That's got nothing to do with it. Something's just silly. Or is it applying too much damage at once? Apply damage. Maybe. Interesting. Have I got something? All right, let's change this to 5, just to see it. Maybe it's applying the damage twice in one punch. No. All right, we'll get it. We'll get it, guys. Don't worry. I always do. Change that to 1, just for now. Damage taken. Kara damage taken. Don't know why that's happening. Kara death. If the health is less than 0. Destroy components. Yeah, that's right. That's fine. That's right. Okay, so damage taken. Something's not right in here. I'm gonna just, I don't know. I gotta try these things. Okay. Get the health again. We'll subtract. We'll set our health. Oh, let's compile. Press play. Oh, okay, there you go. All right. So when I attack him, is it because maybe this was the right way? Maybe this is right. Okay. All right. Let me see. I go take out the player. Is it 1 dig or? Okay, right. So that's the issue. Okay, so do have these like this in this order. That must be the issue then. My bad, guys. Ah, yeah, that must be it then. Yeah, you hit him and then killed him. She, whatever. All right, cool. It works. Happy days. Let me save the project. Happy days, happy days. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of UI work, just a little bit, just a basic health bar for now, just to make sure that it's working. So let's get that set up, okay? To content, we're going to right click, create a new folder and call it UI for user interface, all right? Double click and open it up, right click again, scroll down to the bottom, second one from the bottom, actually, user interface, and then the one at the bottom, widget blueprint. Select user widget, and we'll call it HUD, or heads up display. Double click to open it up. All right. Now in here is basically where you make all your buttons, etc. You can make main menus, pause menus, animations that pop up on the screen, etc. Game over. Everything's done in here. Another highly employable skill within the industry as well. Okay. So over on the left hand side, you have your palette, and that's where you have all these different components where you can do everything in here. So we search palette for a canvas panel, and we bring our canvas panel in, and that's basically our screen. Okay. And then what I want to bring in is a progress bar, like so. I'm going to put the health bar up here in the top left, like so. Obviously, if you want to make your own, like using Photoshop or Piskel or something, you can do that and change it, all right? But for this, we're making our first game. We're not going to get overwhelmed with anything. This is what we're doing. Now, this little flower, looks like a flower, is called an anchor, and it determines where your component is situated on the screen, okay? What I want to do is grab this little petal here and drop it in the corner and just make sure that it fits perfectly over the health bar. Now I have a health bar position in place. Okay. Now over on the right hand side, you have progress, percent. And if I hover over it, you can see it's filling up from left to right. You can change it from right to left, etc. I'm going to keep mine left to right. Okay. Um, Also, I want to change the color. All right. Because blue doesn't suit a health bar. Right. It's probably more for stamina or thirst, etc. So in appearance, fill color and opacity. Click on the color. I'm going to make it green. Green for health, I guess. All right. And then back up to where it says progress, it says bind. I'm going to create a binding. All right. Now in the graph, this is where, remember this variable that we created, health? I want the health value of 1 to be binded to the progress bar. All right. So to get health, to get the variable, I want to cast to the third person character. From the object here, I want to get player character. And then from the blue, I want to get the health. And I want to join it up. Okay. So I press compile. And there you have it. It's now binded. Okay. Now, if I press play, I still can't see it on my screen. So I press escape. And what I'll do is now you can link this to the player. All right. But I'm not going to link it to the player. I'm going to link it in the level blueprint. Okay. You can do that as well because I want to show you what a level blueprint is. So I minimize the screen, and up here in this little arrow, this little middle icon, click on it, and halfway down you see open level blueprint. Now I right click, type in event, begin play, and then I want to come off the execution pin, create a widget. And the widget class is the one we just created, HUD. And then all I have to do from the return value is add to viewport. So basically we can then see it on our screen, right? So add the viewport. I'll press compile. I'll press play. And look, our health bar is there in the color that we want it. And it's positioned where we want it as well. Okay. Okay, so now with our health bar added, let's see if it's functional when the enemy attacks us. So I'll press play. I've just rotated my wee man around, so there you go. He punches us, there's half gone. There's it fully finished. Oh, all right, it works. Brilliant. So that's a little bit of UI for now. Okay. What we're going to move on to next. So I'm thinking that I want to start like doing like a spawn counter. So we spawn the enemies in, and then the enemies will come after us. And then we have to like just kill them pretty much. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll set up our environment. We'll do a little bit more on the UI, so like a start menu and a game over. And then I'll want to put sounds in the game as well, because sounds are pretty fun. They just make the experience a lot better. And also, actually, what we'll do right away now is we'll get rid of this enemy placeholder. Okay, so get rid of the mannequin. All right. So what I'm going to do is I said this whole thing will be free. I don't want to bring another Mixamo character in. There's actually some free characters in the Unreal Marketplace that we can import into our project. So let's get on that. Okay, so there's a stylized character kit here. Okay, it's basically free. And there's all different characters. Because my character's in like a forest and we have sort of like a female elf kind of, I don't know, tribal girl, I guess we'll use the guy in his boxer shorts, I guess, but we'll put him in there. If you want to get a character from Mixamo, go ahead and do it. But I'm doing it this way, and I'm also going to, it's used with the Unreal Engine 4 skeleton, so I'm just going to retarget that to UE5 as well. So it's going to be pretty easy to do, all right? So once you've downloaded it on the Unreal Marketplace, just click on Add to Project. And where's my first game course? Oh, show all projects if it's not showing up, because my project's 5.4. This isn't compatible yet with, well, it's compatible, but it just hasn't been tested, but it'll work. So first game course, it says here, access not compatible with 5.4. Please select closest alternative version. Just change that to 5.3. Add the project, and it will go in there. I think it's like 0.2 gig or something. It's already in. It's already in my project just like that. If I go in here now, my content browser, you can see the character is here. All the whole folders here. All right. But what we're going to do is we're going to retarget it. So it's built for the UE4 skeleton, not the UE5. All right. So it's pretty easy to fix. I'll show you. First of all, if we go into third person, open up the blueprints. I'm sorry, go into enemy. And I go, let's look at it in the viewport, click on the mesh. And if I change it to which one? There, this one. He's all deformed because of the skeleton. Okay, but it is an easy fix. All right. And by doing that, all I need to do is go into my enemy anims. Okay. And if I hit right click on the enemy blueprint, all right, and I retarget animations. So from the Quinn simple, this time we're going to do it to the UE4 Manny, which is here SK underscore mannequin. All right. And I'm just going to, well, I don't want to get everything, but I might as well just get everything at once. Make it faster. We export animations. On this time, I'm going to place it. Yeah, maybe I'll make a new folder. New folder. So to be honest, I should have done this at the start, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Um, I'll call this new anims UE4, just so we know. And I'll export. I could have overwritten the existing files to be fair. Ah well. It's 6 to 1 and half the dozen in the other. My brother always says, so it's the same. Whatever. Right. Okay. Cool. Now they're in here. I'm gonna go to the third person or the enemy. My bad. Enemy BP, and I'm gonna change the blueprint. There should be two enemies now. I need to rename it. I think it's the bottom one. Yeah. Cool. And now he stands up. No problem. I press compile. Let's press play to see if it's working. He's walking around there. It looks pretty cool actually. Hit me. Oh, what? There you go. There's one. Oh, I need to change the. See, when he was punching, he started to fold in half again. That's easy to fix. All right, okay. So I need to. Well, I'll need to change this one as well. So hit reaction for the UE4. Yeah, so just change the animation montages as well. Enemy death will need to be changed too. Oh no, that's cross punch. Um, this one. Can't really see. We'll soon find out. Press compile. And also in the event graph, where's the attack animation? The cross punch, isn't it? There you go. Press compile. Let's test it out. My God. Yeah, that worked. Oh, he's away again. We need to fix that, but it was going good. Okay, so as you can see, we need to fix this a little bit. And we are making our first game. I'm not going to overwhelm anyone with I'm not going to overwhelm anyone with lots of animation work in here, but I just feel like when we go to attack the player, see the way we're sliding? It just looks really bad, doesn't it? It's not good. Okay. So there is ways to blend animation montages. You can do the upper, the lower, or the upper and lower together. Okay. I'm just going to do the upper for this one. All right. Perhaps I'll do another like an intermediate course in the future. Maybe when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll make an intermediate course, or we can delve deeper. Anyway, let's get into it. All right. So press escape. I need the standing melee attack animation montage. Double click to open that up. Now over here, you've got montage section and asset browser. Up to window, and we also want the anim slot manager. Okay, yours might already be there, um, but let me just delete that because I was testing it out, of course. Right. Okay. So anim slot manager, add that. Okay, if it's not there. Okay. And then what you'll want to do is you'll want to add a new slot, and we'll call it upper body. Okay. And then over here in the default slot section, just click on slot and slot name, change it to the default group to upper body, like so, and then press save. Okay. So the character should go into this A pose or a T pose. This is A pose. Right. Once you've done that, you want to go into your character animation blueprint into the anim graph. Okay. If you're not in the anim graph, just click up here to get your anim graph, or you can click it here as well. Okay. And we're going to make some changes in here now. All right. Okay. So, what I'll do is we'll want to break this. So we don't need this. We'll delete this one for now. All right. We'll get a new one in a second. We'll come here and we'll call it use cached. Or is it? Sorry. New save cache posed. Okay. So new save cached pose. All right. I'm just going to call it cached movement. Okay. Call it what you want, but follow along with me for this one. All right. Cached movement. All right. And what I want to do is I want to right click and I want to just type in um, just a second. I want to get cache movement. So use cache pose, cache movement. All right. You want to duplicate that like so. And we want to blend these together. So I want to get a layer blend per node or per bone. Layer blend per bone. And we want to get our default in here for the anim montage. Okay. And join that up. Blend pose 0. Okay. Nearly there. All right. Now click on the layer blend per bone. All right. Now, everyone's skeleton will be should be different. Well, no. If you're using the skeleton and if you followed along so far on the video, you'll have the same bone names. You should do anyway, but just to double check, if you go to the Kara folder and you click on the skeleton, we can see the bones names in here. So this is called hips. I'm probably going to want to blend it here on the spine. All right. Trial and error. But I think I'm going to go for spine. Okay, it has to be spelled the same way. All right, so capital S and then all lowercase. Um, so with that being clicked, we want to go to blend mode, layer setup. You want to add an array element, and we want to name it spine. And I'll blend it at 1 just to see how it goes. We can play around with the values and make it better. Mesh plane rotation, I can't talk today, guys, sorry. Mesh space rotation blend. And you want to join these up like so. And you want to press compile. All right. Now, if I press play, didn't work. 1 second. Right. Come off from here. And what I want to do is get a default slot perhaps. And I'll press compile. I'll press play. Why is it not working? Ah, sorry guys, we don't want a default. Ah, my apologies. We want upper body slot, but we don't. We don't. Upper body. Let's type in upper body. No. Hey, where's my new slot? Default. Hmm. What's happening here now? Oh. We can change the slot name up here to upper body. My apologies, guys. All right, so just do that. Forgot the little steps. Been a while from I've done this one, to be honest. Been too busy teaching just the same stuff over and over. You forget a little time. Anyway, so press compile, and that should work. There you go. Okay, it's not great, is it? But if I'm running, I mean, it's not bad. I can now run, attack, and cool. I can jump. I could even press the attack and then jump. So it works. I mean, We could play around with this. Let's play around with it a little bit, okay? So instead of the spine, let's try it from the hips. All right. Press compile. Press play. Ah, because the hips are actually on the lower body. That's why. Okay. So let's do spine. And let's change the default values. I'm going to do 2. Press compile. Press play. I mean, it's not amazing, but we are making our basic game. I mean, it's not bad, is it? Much better feel of play anyway. Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep it at that, all right? Okay, so just before we get into enemy respawner, we need to fix something here, okay? We need to add a default slot back in here. That was right, because when our enemy attacks us or we die, we don't play their animation montages. So we need that in here as well. Press compile. And we'll move on and we'll get our enemy respawner started and finished. All right, so we're going to create the enemy respawner. Really, really easy to do. We're not going to overcomplicate things, as the theme of the course is pretty much like your beginner game. You know, it pretty much is for beginners. Anyway, what you'll have to do first of all is you'll have to open up your BP third person game mode. So just click on content, go to the search content and type in BP third person game mode. There you go. Double click and open that up. Um, Now you'll get this window. All right. Just click open full blueprint editor like so. And in here, we're going to create a few things. Okay. So we'll create first of all, we'll create our variable, which is enemies alive. Basically what we're doing is when our first enemy in the scene, when he's killed, after he dies, we want to spawn 2, then we want to spawn 4, then we want to keep doubling up. All right. So enemies alive. And it needs to be an integer because an integer is a number without a decimal, so a round number, pretty much, okay? Press compile. We want to create what's also called an event dispatcher because we want to call, um, basically when there's no enemies alive, we want to call a respawn enemy function, okay? So, or respawn enemy event, okay? So we'll call this respawn underscore enemy, like so. And then we'll create a custom event. Custom event, we'll call it enemies left. So there's enemies left. So basically get our enemies. And if they're equal to 0, you want to create a condition by getting a branch, hold down B and left click. If you don't remember, you should by now. And then basically we want to get our event dispatcher. We want to call it. I want to set it to true. Okay. That's it for this part. Okay. We do this in 4 parts really. All right. Um, Press compile for that. And then what we'll want to do then is we want to go to our enemy BP. All right, so our enemy folder, and we want to open up it. All right. Now at the very, very top here, we have event begin play to run our random roam. We can't use the event begin play node. We can't use like more than one node in the blueprint for this. So what we'll do is we'll get a sequence. So we'll press down the S key and we'll left click, and we'll join the then 0 up to the random roam. I'm just going to make some more space up here. And then from then 1, we want to cast to our BP third person game mode. The object is get game mode, like so. Then we want to get our variable that we created, which is enemies alive. So we want to get that and we want to increment it. Okay, so hit plus, plus, oh, damn it, plus. So we'll increment the integer like so. And that's it for that part, okay? So that's part 2. Really easy. Now we have all our death functions and everything set up in the enemy. So if you go down to the enemy death function, you see obviously we run a lot of script here. we will only spawn our enemies once our enemy is dead. Okay. So we have a delay of 5 seconds, which gives us time to like recuperate and then fight again. I am just going to lower this down until 3 seconds just for now. The destroy actor, I'm going to move over here, and we are going to just put a little bit of extra code on this. Okay, not much. So basically, once you've got the delay and it's completed, we want to cast to our third person game mode again. So BP third person game mode. We want to get game mode. We also want to get enemies alive. Boom. And this time when we're incrementing it, we want to minus it. So minus minus. So decrement, sorry. Decrement. And from here, we also want to run our function enemies left. And that's what we created in the game mode at the beginning. All right. And just join them up like so. Make sure you put destroy actor at the end, because that's what we had. And then I'll just rewrite this. Oh, to be honest, I can just do this. Oh, there you go. So we can see where everything's going. So from the delay, you want to cast the third person game mode. You want to get game mode, then grab the enemies alive variable, decrement it, so we can play the function and then destroy the actor. Okay. A few other things in here that we need to do. Just click on self. All right. Click on AI auto possess. So auto possess AI. Now mine's already set to placed in world or spawned. Yours probably isn't because I was testing this out. Make sure it's placed in world or spawned, or else our enemy won't show up. Okay. So make sure you've done that. And then the next thing, and pretty much the final thing that what we have to do, I'm going to do it in the enemy folder, okay? We're going to create our spawner, okay? So right click, blueprint class, create an actor. We'll call it enemy spawner underscore BP. Then double click and open that up. Oh, and we're going to create two variables first of all. One going to be spawned enemy, and it needs to be an integer. Compile it, give it a value of 2. Compiled again, so that's the engine knows to run it. Another variable is going to be add enemy. And if you compile this, and we give it a value of, say, 1, press compile, go to the event graph, delete these two nodes, we don't need them. And from the event begin play, cast to the third person game mode. You want to get game mode. Oh. And then what we want to do is we want to bind event to respawn enemy. Bind events to respawn enemy. Join this blue up to the blue. Then from the event, we want to add a custom event, and we'll call it spawn enemy. And then from here, you want to get a for loop. And you want to allow the first index to be the value of 1. And you want to get spawned enemy and join it up to the last index. Oh, like so. Right. Now we've done this bit. Just below, you want to get your add enemy. So you want to get that, and you want to get your spawned enemy. And you want to get your add enemy again. All right. Now, from the completed, you want to increment this as an integer, of course, because it is an integer. And you want to join the add enemy up to here. All right. And then from the spawned enemy, you just want to get an add. Sorry, that's equals. You want to get a add operator and join these both up like so. All right. So now you have them two. Now you need to get your set spawned enemy, and you want to get your set add enemy, and you want to join this one up to here, this one up to here, and this one up to here. leave the value to 0, and then from the loop body, you want a spawn actor from class. So we spawn our actor from class. The class will be our enemy BP, or enemy AI BP in this case. Then from the spawn transform, you want to get actor transform. All right. Now make sure you set the default, the collision handling override to try to adjust location. Try to adjust location, but always spawn. Yeah, let's do that one. All right. Because then, like if it'll still try to spawn, it'll adjust the location if there's any collision issues. All right. Now we press compile. Now what you need to do is have an enemy already in here, because obviously we have to kill the enemy for this to work. So have one in here, but also put the spawner in here too. Okay. Now go to press play, and let's go test this out. All right. So let's kill him. Boom. Boom. 1, 2, 3. There's our other 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And now there's 4. See how far I can go with this. Oh shit. No. It's hard enough, All right. That should be 8 now coming. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. Anyway, listen. My math there was messed up, but that works. That's all we need. There's our enemy respawner completed. Okay. So next, what I'm going to do is have a little look at our environment, and then I want to do sounds. So cool. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add our event, or we're going to add our environment. Okay. And I want to use a free asset pack from the Unreal Marketplace. And we have the Stylized Nature pack. It's not very taxing on performance, first of all, and it sort of suits the style of our characters. So it's all stylized, okay? And it's completely free. We don't have much to do in here for our game, all right? So you just add it to the project like we did with the character. Show all projects. I need first game course, 5.3 compatibility. Add to the project. So I've already got it in there, but I'll replace them. I mean, I had it in there, but yeah. Anyway, it's in there now, regardless. And what we going now? This is the whole map, okay? And it's pretty neat. Like it is super cool, but it's huge. We're not going to be using all of this, and it would just really hinder performance. But all these assets we can get. So if you do want to build your own world with this, you can do it. But for this course, we don't need it. So press escape. What we're going to do is we're going to just click on content. Um, we're going to go to file. We're going to go to new level, select basic, click create. We'll save selected just so I don't lose any of my work. And then we want to file, save current level as, and we'll call it our wave map arena. I don't know. That'll do. But we don't want the floor. So we'll take away this mesh that we don't need. And we're going to go into landscape mode and build a little bit of a level in here. Okay. So the top it says selection mode. Select landscape mode. And it'll give you like a floor that you could create. This is far too big. I'm going to change it to 25 by 25. I mean, that's still too big, I think. Right? So 10. Yeah, that's fine for us. 10. 10 tens are cool. All right. Click create. To be honest, like if I press play now, oh, I'm falling through the mesh. I'll fix that in a moment. See the way we're falling through the mesh here? So I'll tell you what. Let's look at these brushes you have. I'm not going to go too deep into this. I have other tutorials for this. Um, we just want to get something built quick as possible. The course is probably going to run on for 3 hours now. So I want to change the brush size over here, and I just want to sculpt a little bit, just so it's not so flat. That might even be too much. Yeah, I might have to just back in selection mode. Get my little dude. Where is he? There he is, hiding under. Well, it's a she actually. It's who goes, right? I mean, this is kind of maybe a bit too hilly for my liking. Is the brush is too strong? So what I'm gonna do is go back into landscape mode, and I'm gonna just smooth this out. Let me press play. I mean, why not? You can play around with this more. I don't really want to overdo it in terms of time of the video. But if I wanted to just maybe take it down a little bit, I can take it down the strength. And if I hold the shift key, it goes in the opposite direction. So it sort of like minuses it out. Let's get a smooth. Make the smooth bigger. Let's press play. I mean, that's much better. I mean, got a little bit. Maybe I can put some water in here if we have a time. All right. So I want to put some sounds in as well, some meta sounds. Okay, cool. All right, so we got that. Okay. So what I want to do is add a material. Okay. Now to do that, let me think. So I go back to selection mode. Yes. Now there should be material in here from this stylized PBR nature. Um, maybe materials. And I would say that we would want, or did they just make a green one? Textures. Okay, it's just this they made. Going for sea clover. I don't know. I haven't really experimented too much with this. But anyway, let's just have a little look in case we need to make our own one. But if I click on the landscape and I scroll down and I'm looking for landscape layer material, which should be somewhere. I'll just type. Oh, that's in the world settings. Details. Okay, cool. Right. Let's drop this in here. That is not what we want. None of it is really. Yeah, so we'll make our own material, I guess. It's not so hard. I'll just right click in the materials here, go material, and I'll just call this ground material. So ground underscore M. We'll double click and open it up. And we're not going to be painting this or anything because it's stylized. So just hold down the T key, left click for the texture sample, join it up to the base color, and then in here, we're going to be looking for like, what was it called? Clover, maybe? There you go. We'll click apply. And then we'll drop this on top of our landscape material. And then let's press play. I mean, it's not amazing now, is it? Pretty sucks actually. But we're gonna put like a lot of foliage and stuff over the top, so it doesn't really matter too much. Gonna put some trees in. It is a stylized game, so yeah, I'm gonna maybe let's see. Hmm. No. We'll leave it like this for now. If we need to change it up, we will after. Okay. I want to get into this, get this done as quick as possible. So, right. Go back into select mode. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into foliage. Okay. So foliage is how you paint on certain assets. Okay. So over here you have the brush, etc. And what you want on your brushes. I want to go to the foliage folder. Let's get the assets and let's put a few different ones in. Okay. So we'll start off. We need a couple of trees. All right. So here's a tree. I'm going to drop it in here. All right. Now if I click on it, should be a collision preset. We want it to block all dynamic or block all. So basically, we can't run through the tree. Make sure that you do that, all right? So just add like maybe I'll put the tree in as well. Check the collision. I think so the collision will save now. That's good. All right. Let me just see, just to be sure. Yeah, that's saved. Oh wait, if I tick this one, that's fine. Yeah, so the collision's saved. All right. Let's get another kind of tree as well. And yeah, let's put like some of these in too. All right, just make sure collision's all good. Yeah, all right. So you must have to just do it once. That's fine. Now what I want to do is we've got all these selected. All right. Now here's our brush. I'm painting trees. Okay, now they're far too close together. It's not great. Okay, but I'm just showing you. And that will probably hinder performance as well. Oh, of course. Right. So if I just shift click, it'll just erase them. Or I could have just control Z'd it, but just showing you the tools. All right. Now what we want to do is play around with the density. Maybe the brush size I want it to go up. Let's see what comes up here. Okay, wow, that's far too much. Control Z. Let's put this density way, way, way down. Oh, that's still huge. I haven't used this in a while. I usually use a PCG graph, but it's not for this tutorial. Let's go way down. Okay, 1 second. What am I missing here? Oh, is it down here? No, but that's just for the one, is it? Yeah, that's just for that mesh. All right. Brush size. No good. So what I'll do is we'll paint these individually, all kind of individually. So I want just these two. Like so. Okay. Then we'll untick these two and we'll get these two. And then we'll untick this one and we'll tick this one. Oh, no, don't want that one. Right. Let's play, have a little look around. I mean, it looks kind of cool, like so far. So this green's kind of okay. We'll play around with the light, and we'll smooth this out a little bit after. But it's like it's kind of cool. Okay, so there is no collision on that. I wanted to put collision, but there's collision on this one. No. Okay. All right. So there's collision on this tree. Okay, so you do have to do it individually. Right. Collision presets, block all. Aha, okay, no collision. Block all. All right. So only some of them. This one, I believe we put it on, right? No collision. Block all. Okay. No collision. Block all. And that has block all. Let's see now if I need to repaint them. I hope not. No, okay. Let's just test this out. Well, that one I don't mind, but I can go back fix that. Okay, that's fixed. That's fixed. That's fixed. Fixed. Okay, we're good to go. All right, cool. Let's get some more foliage in here. All right. So, yeah. Let's look at our palette and let's get more added in here. So I'm going to untick this. I don't want it anymore. I don't want any of these. All right. So we'll add more foliage. Whoa. Yeah. So foliage type. Here's like little grass, bushes, etc., which will look good for us. I get the grass in. We'll do the grass in at the end. I want to get some of these in. We'll put that in. That shouldn't need any collision, to be honest. Where'd it go? Did I get it in? No. Let's see. Foliage type. What's happening here now? Foliage. Add foliage. We'll add it in this way. There we go. Just want to paint this in around here. Just a few places around. I mean, that's looking good for me already. We want to be able to run through these, like tall grass. I want to take that one away. But yeah, cool. All right. Let me just go in here. As you can see, I'm kind of just winging the environment. Like, I haven't really planned this out. I just saw this and I was like, this looks good for the art style. Let's give it a go. Right, we'll add some more foliage. Um, we don't want any trees. We want this one and this one. Yeah, sure. And there's a ticked. And let's put some grass in, see what it looks like together. And there's our grass ticked. All right, so I'm gonna untick this one now because don't need it. Let's make our brush size a bit bigger. All right, let's press play. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. I'm happy for what this is. Might want to put some more trees around here, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll untick these and this, and we'll get this one and this one. And yeah, let's see what we can do. That might be too much. So brush size down. Yeah, that's better. Let's go around the edges. Maybe we don't want that many, but you can play around with it yourself. You don't want to be copying me. This is just a real rough draft, just making a little bit of an enemy respawn arena. Let's maybe add some more of these in. Oh, I can hold that. Um, let's get some more of these in. And then some more of these in. Let's press play. I mean, I'll take this all day. It's fine. It does. Maybe I'll put another tree. Let's put this way down. Let's get this tree in. It's one. No. See play. I mean, it's quite a lot in here now. But it's cool because we want to be able to dodge enemies. Right. Cool. All right. I'm gonna do leave that for that. That's I'm happy enough with that. We'll go back into selection mode. Let's go to let's control Shift S to save all. And just to be sure, save all. I'm gonna drop an enemy in here, and I'm gonna drop our spawner in here too. And I also need to drop the nav mesh in here. Don't forget. So nav mesh bounds volume. Let's go in here and have a look. Make sure it's touching the ground. Yes. I want them to be able to go everywhere. Huh? There we go. Cool. All right. Let's press play. And there we have our dude. Oh, we don't have our health bar, right? It's a different level. So let's go to the level blueprint. Open level blueprints. So event begin play. We just want to create our widget. I want to add the widget to the viewport. Oh, and we need to select the widget class, which is HUD. Press compile, press play. There's our health bar. Oh wow, he killed me super fast. What the hell? Right, he's dead. Oh shit, there's the other two guys. I need to fix the get hurt animation because we slide. He's way over here. Okay, I died, but that's fine. All right, that works, okay? So that'll do for our environment. Obviously, you could spend more time on yours, add other assets in there, etc. You know, even with a random roam, you can create like maybe there's an animal variety pack, or you can find like a little stylized animal, maybe some rabbits or something running around. You can put the random roam, the same logic in there, and have them running around, etc. Okay, cool. So let's get some sounds done now, I guess. Okay, so for sounds, we'll do the footsteps walking in the grass first. Okay, so we'll click on content, we'll right click, we'll create a new folder, and we shall call this sounds. Oh, double click and open that up. Then we'll right click, we'll go to audio, and we'll go to meta sound source, and we'll call it footsteps grass. I mean, there's only grass walking on there anyway, but like it'll do. Double click and open that up, and you'll get these three little outputs and input as well. So yeah, cool. I'm just going to get straight into this one, all right? So with the input, you want to get well, let's get our wave player first so I can show you. Wave player. In this case, I only want one channel, so I just need mono, all right? Join up the unfinished, all right? And the pink to the pink for now, all right? And if I get a sound here from the starter content, there's explosion. I press play. Really, really clean sound, all right? Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a random get, and it's going to be an array. So array is a list of items because I have two different sounds for the grass. I can play them on random, and then I'm also going to add, I might add a limiter with a little bit of gain as well. So then it plays at different levels of sound. So it's more random. Let's see. So I'll get a random get. And what if I said array? Um, just join the on next to here and the value into here. Oh, because obviously we're going to select our sounds now from the array. Okay. So I want to promote this to a graph variable, and I want to change the name to footsteps. If I could spell. I always say it's a good job I'm not teaching English. And then down here, you want to add the array elements. However, I haven't added the sounds to my project. It'll be in the drive folder anyway for you. I'm just going to get mine here now. Grass, footsteps in grass. Did I not download it? It's two. I guess not. All right. Let me just see this file. Okay. Let me just play this. Okay, there's two in there. It's not good. So what I'll want to do is very, very quickly. I don't know if it's something of interest to you, but if you have Audacity, I'm going to put this in here anyway. All right. So Audacity. Why not? I'm going to split these two up. Skip. File, new. Oh, where's my footsteps? Bring them in here. I mean, mine are already chopped up in the Audacity folder, but let me just show you. It's very simple. I got two sound. I've got this is two channels, but here are both footsteps. There's one, and there's two. All right. All you got to do is hold the left mouse button down, highlight this, delete it, do it in here as well, and then you'll want to get in the middle. Control I to split it, and now you got two different sounds. You know. And then all you have to do is like if I just Control X this one, and I go File, Export Audio, Export to Computer. I'll put this. It's already in there, but I'll do Grass. It has to be a WAV file, okay, for Unreal. Steps in Grass 1, export, and then I'll just delete these ones. I'll Control V, paste these other ones in, and I'll just go File, Export Audio, Export to Computer, Footsteps in Grass 2, export, and now I have them. I can go to my File Explorer, to my Documents, go to Audacity, and there I have my footsteps in Grass 1 and my footsteps in Grass 2. All right, so I'm just going to take them. I already had them, but just showing if anyone's interested in a little bit of sounds, you know, you can do that. It's really easy, and Audacity's free. All right, so I'm going to drop my footsteps in Grass here. I'm going to delete this one because I don't need it. Open up my meta sounds. Here's my array. So I want to add two of them. And then the array, I want to type in grass. I'll get the first one and I'll get grass. I'll get the second one. All right, so now my footsteps are in here. All right, I want a random float for the pitch shift. So random float. And I can mess around with the values. I'm going to go -5 just to see what the difference is. See, -1. All right, let's press play. Yeah, they're going random, but I also want to get a limiter in here as well. Limiter. So obviously sometimes we're going over different foliage and the noises might be louder than the other, you know. So if I just change this, I'm not gonna put it up too much, maybe 10. I'm all right with that. So I'll press save. Then what I gotta do is I gotta find the run animation. Now there's two different ones. There's mannequin female and mannequin male. Let's go to the third person and determine which one we're using. Oh, well, we're not. We're using our own run. My apologies. So that's even better. Right, okay. So if I go to the Kara folder, I go to animations, and let's find her animation. Running, running, running. There's there. Okay. So let me make this bigger. Now, if you're doing this with a mannequin, it'll already be mapped out for you every time that the player takes a step. Okay? Well, for me, I gotta do it myself. So from here's one. There you go. All right, so from here, all right? So in the notifies, we already have a track. So I want to right click and I want to add a notify and I want to play sound notify. Okay? Now if I click on play sound, in the top right, you'll see sound and I can now type in grass and get my meta sound source like so. Now I'm going to have to copy that, Control C, and then go to my next step, which is boom. Yeah, about there. And I control V. 1 second. Control Z, control V. That's good for me. And then, all right, so is that it? So now if I press play, every time the player runs, the sound plays the grass footsteps. So let's test it out in the game, all right? So I'll minimize this. I'll press play. Cool. All right. Sorry. Let's start, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's the footsteps done. All right. Now what I'm going to set up is the like a punch grunt sound for our enemy AI, okay? So I'm going to go back into sounds. I'm going to grab my punch grunt and let's test this one out. So I'm going to grab the footsteps. I'm going to control duplicate it and I'm going to call this one, well, it should be labeled and comprised as MS for meta sound source underscore punch grunt. Cool. Let me open that up. If I click on the array, to be honest, we don't need an array, it's just one sound, so I can take this one out. And I'll select punch grunt. Make sure this is on play. Let's test it out. See the way we have the threshold here, we're different, like it's random pitch. So I'm wondering if I go -5 to 2. Okay, cool, I like that. So that's playing it randomly, all right? So that's cool. Okay, awesome. Now let's find the get hurt animation for our enemy. So the hit reaction, right? Oh, didn't want that one. Hit reaction. So we got different ones in here. I don't know which one I'm using actually. So let me go enemy AI BP. Event any damage. Where's that? Damage taken. All right, well, we'll soon find out. Enemy atoms hit reaction. Anyway, it should be this one. I believe it's this one. Oh, wait. No, it should be this one. Okay. We'll soon see. So let me pause this down. So basically, I want it to be playing from... Could be playing from here, for example. Doesn't really matter. I guess it's the whole... Add notify, play sound. And I want the sound to be punch, grunt, meta sound source, press or save. Well, let's go press play and test this out. Ooh, that was a bit of a lag coming on there. Oh. Okay, cool. Alright, too. That's pretty shitty. Got to fix some collision there later on, but that's fine for now. Right. What I want to do is use the same sound. No. I'll get a new sound for death, and we'll mess around with different death pitches, okay? And we'll add ones into the death as well, and then we'll get some attacks for our character. And not ought to do it for sounds in the background noise as well. So just bear with me. Okay, so it's the same concept pretty much. I'll get the punch prompt. I'll duplicate that and I'll call it ms underscore enemy death. Cool. I'll open that up. I have my death sound in here already, so I'm just going to change it. Death man, it's called. Let's press play. There's one. I mean, it's pretty like, I want it higher pitched. So what I'll probably do here is I'll take this and I'll go from one and we'll pitch two. Let's take the pitch. Let's take the pitch from the minimum to 3 and the max to 6. It's all trial and error, really. Okay, it's a bit too high, I think. But I'm going to change this as well. So maybe 5. I'm going to bring this down a little. I think I'll bring it to 3 and from 1.5. Let's play. It's pretty similar. Okay. So we gotta maybe, I don't know what this, 3. Let's see what this does. This is very similar, right? So maybe what I want to do is -3 to 3. It's not doing it random. Let's see. There you go. There we go. That was different. Oh, it's different. Yeah, cool. All right, so it's doing it. So I'll press save. Now we gotta find the death animation for our enemy. Anims. It's gonna be death 1, I believe. So death. Yeah, it is. All right. Just press play. It doesn't really matter, but you want it to go straight away, I guess. So yeah, maybe just a little bit here. Right click, add notify. Ah, play sound. Click on the sounds, and we'll get death. We need the meta sound, right? Enemy death. Let's save. Just to clarify, I did when I was doing the hit reaction, I did add the meta sound source, right? I did. Okay, cool. All right, let's go see what this is like now. A different grunt, different grunt. Okay, cool. All right. So far, so good. I mean, you could do with a little bit of tweaking, but leave that to you. You have creative freedom. All right. So we got that. We'll want maybe a little bit of a female grunt for swinging the axe, a female death sound, and also like the guys punching. We want them to be making a sound for when they're punching as well. So let's get the sounds in order. Okay, so let's now get some attack sounds for Kara. I've brought a Kara attack in. I'm not too sure about this one. I'm just winging it. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, it'll be the right sound in here, but I think this will do for what we needed to do. So the punch ground, I'm going to control duplicate. I'm going to call it MS Kara attack. All right. And then I want the Kara noise. Let's see. Okay. Those noises are a little bit questionable, I would say. But let's go from 1 to 2. Okay, so what I might do is I actually might just create an array and split those sounds up. So we get a um, random wave asset, or is it, no, sorry, wave asset array, right? Set wave asset array. No. Get wave asset array. Sorry. Get wave asset array. Okay, so we want the array to be like, I gotta split those sounds up, so I'll do that in just a second. Random get array is what I want. Sorry, guys, forgot. Random get wave asset array. There we go. We want on next on play, and we want the value to be the value. And then we want to get the array, promote to a graph variable. And we want to call this just attacks, I guess. And I'll go back into my Audacity and I'll click here, Control I to separate. I'll delete, well, I'll cut this one just for now. And I'll file, I'll export audio. It's already exported as a WAV set up there. That's cool. Oh, wait, I didn't name it, right? Shit. Export audio, export. I'm gonna call it attack one, and then I'm gonna Control Z. Gonna delete this one. Then I'm gonna file, export audio, call it attack two. Then I'm gonna go to my file explorer. Wait, I'm gonna have to go and close this one down. I minimize that one. Go to my Audacity. There's attack one, attack two. Don't worry, you'll have attack one, attack two already in here, but it's good to see it in real time as well. Car attack. Oh, I'll create two array elements. Attack one, attack two. Press play. Cool. I'll press save. Now I gotta find Kara's attack animation. So Kara anims, standing melee attack. And then I'll press pause. And I want it probably from about here. Again, I'm not going perfect just for time, but you guys can take your time, do different sounds if you want. Doesn't really matter to me. MS Kara attack. Let's press save. Let's press play. That death volume is a bit slow. Right, okay. That will do for that one. And then I do want her. I guess what I could do is I could change the grunt for the attack for the enemy. So if I go to the enemy, no. If I go to audio. Where sounds? I called it right. Yes, sounds. And where's the punch ground? So the punch ground I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to call it enemy death MS. Let's open this up. Should already have the punch. Oh, it has death man. Okay. Oh no, I already put death. Oh yeah, I want to give them a punch sound for their attack. That's what it is. My bad. So I want to change that. I'm going to change it to punch one, punch grunt. All right, let me press play. And I want to really turn this one up. Maybe it's two to four. Press play. That's not great, is it? Let's see. Let's take this one out. Let's put it in here. Let's make it deeper. Maybe that's why you need -1 to -3 or to -4. Let's try. Okay, let's do a minus 2.0. Press play. All right, I mean that'll do. We can get another sound in there, but you guys get the gist of it by now, for God's sake. So, let's go to enemy atoms. Let's go to cross punch, right? Cross punch 1, and I want to get my slider. How about here? I'll drop in a play sound. Click on the play sound. And what did I call this one? Yeah, let's hit MS. And I think I called it enemy death, but it's supposed to be enemy punch. But anyway, press save. Let's go test this one out. I mean, I could get a punch sound as well. I believe I have one. I could put it at the end of the punch too. Let me see. I should have one in here. Audacity. Punch, 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 punch. No. I did have one. Well, bear with me. Download. Punch. Punch example. Okay. File. Export audio. Punch. Okay, cool. Let me bring this one in also. You can spend a lot of time on sounds, you know. This is gonna be the last one, and then I'm gonna put background music in. And I think that'll do me. I mean, I don't have her death in, but you guys can do that. You get the gist now how to do it. I've done it a few times in front of you, so you should be fine. Punch. Cool. I'll do this one. Well, let's do the punch grunts. Punch grunts. Am I confusing myself here or what? All right. We want just punch in here. I'll play. All right. Cool. It's very crunchy. But anyway, it'll do. Right. So let's get the punch open again. Where is it? Cross punch. Okay. So maybe from throwing it, I'm going to put that here. Then I'm going to add another notify play sound. And I want it from here. And this one I'm going to put over here. Pretty cool. All right, let's press play. Okay, it's a little bit off. Maybe from here. I'll put here. But that's all. Maybe I should have put that one here too. I'm gonna take this one, and I'm gonna delete it because it should be in the Kara when she gets hit by the punch, right? So where's Kara? Kara Anims hit reaction. Yeah, about here. Add notify, play sound. Go on play sound. MS punch grunt 1. I'll press play or save. Let's go get punched. Okay. No, so it's not great. I think I'm gonna put it right at the start. No. I'm gonna take that one away. I'm gonna put that in as in car attack. Because there's random in there too, like getting hit. And for the punch, we can mess around with it in your own time, you know? I know. All right, so I'll just do the background music. So I'll just go, I mean, enemy death, character. No, wait, so I'll just go audio, meta sound source. I just got some jungle music because I wanted to get this done as quick as possible. You can get whatever you want for your environment. Okay, you just want a wave player. Just need one channel, so mono. All right, unfinished, and the pink up to the pink. Might need a limiter in here. Let's see. Let me get jungle. Now I want this to loop. Okay, so it doesn't stop playing. Let's put a limiter in. Let's do -2. Let's see the difference. So that is static in the back. It's really shitty. -5. It's not the best music, I don't think. Let's stop it. Let's just now with this music, because I want it all the time. I'm just going to throw it into my scene. So press play. Can't see shit. I think I died. Okay, cool. Right. What I was thinking as well, I guess I could get the grass footstep and I could duplicate it. That's the steps one. And then I can get a limiter on this. And I can just go 0. Let's hear it. And I could do it for the male as well. Because, they're walking around. Maybe put theirs down a little bit lower. Why not? Just go enemy, animals. We want to get the walk. I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. And it's actually labeled for us because that's the way the mannequins are. So I'll go to notifies, add a notify track, second track, and I want to add a notify play sound. And I just want to select footsteps. Steps in grass 1. And I just want to copy and paste that. Bring it here where the right foot is. I want to paste it again. Bring it here for the left foot. Paste it again. Just want to do it for every step of the animation. Save that. Let's see how that looks. Okay, they may not be using the MM, they might be using the MF. I'm wondering if I can just copy and paste it in there as well. Should be able to. No, let's add a new track. You might take that, notify, play sounds, click on play sounds. Footsteps 1. Copy paste it. It's not have to do it so many times. Copy paste it. Um, Paste it again. Press there. It's not making the sounds, right? This is just me. 1 second, I test the sound out, maybe. I got a lot of windows open now, right? Oh no, no, no. Sorry, guys. Sounds. Close that. Footsteps one, I want. Where's footsteps one? Here it is. Let's press. I mean, it's very low. Okay, let's give it a limiter of 3. Let's bring it up a little bit. Okay. Anyway, right, we got our sounds in. You get the gist of it. You can follow along, do more sounds if you want. It's completely up to you. We're gonna finish now with like a little bit of UI, basically a game over screen. And then that's us done with this course. Okay, cool. So you should have right clicked. Okay, I have one in here. Need to delete that. Delete. So you have your HUD, you have your UI folder. Right click. Let's create a new user interface widget blueprint. Select user widget. Call it game over. Double click and open it up. Get a canvas panel. Bring it in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get some text. There's many ways to do this. I'm doing it very basic. Now, the text block, I wanted to say in all capitals, game over. Now, let's change the font size. It's about there. I want to change the color to red. Red, you dead. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. You can add your own fonts in there if you want. I'm just going to use this. Click on it again. And we want to make our box that size. Move it over to sort of in the middle. This anchor, I'm going to drop it on the middle. Okay. And press save. Now we're going to come back here and give it another button, but just to test this out, what I want to do is I want to go to I want to go to my car BP and go to my death function. Let's just create a widget here. Jesus. Create a widget, call it game over, and add the viewport. All right. I also want to compile this. I want to file and save all my work so I don't lose it. I'm going to close down a lot of these windows for the sounds. I don't need them now. I'm happy with what I have just for now. If I had more time, obviously I would be spending a lot of time and effort into this. But you get the principle and the basics and the methods of what we use. Press play. And let's go die. There's game over. Cool. I mean, I might just leave it there, guys. Why not? I have a video anyway in my playlist on how to do a main menu, so you'll be able to see that. And you can take control of the mouse, etc. Okay. But yeah, there we have a game. Just don't forget to like and subscribe. Many questions, drop them in. I wanted to thank everyone on over 500 followers this week. It's been great. I did have some time away from YouTube, so I'm so glad that when I came back on board, everybody was able to still stay with me. And shout out to the new followers as well. Going to be aiming for the next milestone of 1,000. We'll do like an intermediate game course where we'll play around with different attacks, and we'll do a lot of a better job. maybe a shooter. I don't know. Who knows? All right. Maybe I'll give it a poll and let you guys decide. But yeah, I'm thinking also to start a Discord. I'm going to put that down in the poll as well. There's a lot of people come to me with questions, and I don't have a lot of time to get around you. So if we build a community, perhaps we can all help each other out. Okay, so listen, thank you very much for your time. Hope you really enjoyed the course, and good luck on your game dev journey. Thank you.